Sadly, Man United 3, Southampton 1. We didn't expect to have to go through a roller coaster of emotions playing the team that's bottom of the league, but we did because we was 1-0 down, and rightly so. They did amazingly well, and we had to fight back. It wasn't pretty at times, but we did it.
It's a weird game. Like, we were absolutely terrible for the first 80 minutes, and then Ahmad came to life and changed the game. And that is justice for him, because I'm so happy for him. Because we had people like Amari Forson coming on ahead of him. I mean, that is just criminal within itself. I'm so glad he stayed, and he's fantastic. And Zirkzee was unbelievable when he came.
Yeah, I mean, talk to me about Zirkzee, because I do know you've been a big advocate of him, even through his tougher moments. What's one thing I will say? Even in his tough moments, me and you have spoke quite a lot. You always said, listen, I see something flex. He's a good player, and we're starting to see in the last couple of games at least that the mentality and resilience is there, and actually ability-wise, he's got something that we need definitely right now.
Well, the easy thing for him to do, especially after getting booed off the pitch, would have been to go to Juventus, to go back to his old manager. But he stayed resilient, and also I don't think he's been given a fair crack at the whip either. I think he's only started 6 games in the Premier League and 5 at number 9. And I think he played well at Crystal Palace. He played a good game at home against Everton, and he played a good game away at Southampton. That's 3 of his 5 starts at number 9. And if you actually look at the Southampton and the Crystal Palace game, they were back-to-back. And he didn't get a run in after that. Like, I just think he needs to get a run of games. I understand that he doesn't suit Amorim's system, but he's a good footballer.
But does he not suit it? Does he just need time to adapt to it like other players do? Because now we're starting to see him actually be quite effective in the system.
No, yeah, 100%. I think some games will definitely suit Zirkzee, but I think Amorim likes Højlund's profile, but Højlund's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, he's terrible. I think I could find better strikers in League One than Rasmus Højlund. He's absolutely rubbish. I mean, he's weak as piss. He's absolutely terrible. I would start Zirkzee from now on till the end of the season. I think he's way better than Rasmus Højlund.
But don't you think that with that, what we do as fans, because, 1 minute we go Rasmus, get him in, then we go, Zirkzee, no, I don't know about that. Then we switch back. Don't you think it's going to be like it's going to keep changing, or you think, no, you can clearly see Zirkzee's the better player and he should be the main 9?
Oh yeah, I can clearly see Zirkzee was the better player. I've backed Zirkzee throughout the whole entire time.
You did.
And I think if you actually look at it, both of them came from Serie A, and Zirkzee got bought for 36 million. You would have thought, the way the stick Zirkzee's got on his first season, you would have thought Zirkzee was bought for 72 million and Højlund was bought for 36, when really it's the other way around. And Zirkzee got in Serie A team of the season playing for Bologna. And you think about how many big teams are in Serie A. You've got Napoli, Inter Milan, AC Milan, Juventus, Roma, Lazio. He's playing for Bologna, and he got in Serie A team of the season. And I watched a few games of him because I wanted a new manager, so I looked at Thiago Motta as an option. So I seen a little bit of Zirkzee. Maybe that's why.
So that's why you're like, I've seen what he can do. Like, if he's confident.
Yeah.
With a win like that, Ruben Amorim said before the game, he's going to learn more about his team in this type of game than the games against Arsenal and Liverpool. Now we've seen, what is he doing? This guy's doing a madness. Sorry, he's just running around to celebrate. He's got mad energy. Now we've seen that type of performance. Even though we've won, what would Ruben have learned?
Oh, he's a smart man. He knew what he was doing saying that in his press conference. But do you know what? Ineos have been ruthless, but I hope they're not stupidly ruthless and they don't get rid of him. Because if they keep hold of Ruben, we're not going to get relegated.
No.
That's not happening. So I'm not bothered where we finish. If you actually look at Ten Hag's first season, when he ditched the idea, forget about that. If you actually look at his second summer transfer window, forget about who he brought in. We only saw one player in that summer transfer window. That was James Garner. Every single player that played in that squad in that first season stayed because he adapted to them. So of course, new lease of life, and they're doing something they're comfortable in. They're going to look good, but you don't actually know who can play that. And then because we finished third, fan expectation goes through the roof. I always have a saying: once you change it, you can't go back. I love the fact
he ain't changing nothing. Yeah.
And I love the fact that Ruben's sticking with his style of play. I always like to say this club isn't made for the faint-hearted; it's made for the brave. I think Ruben's got a heart of a lion, and I think he'll be the one. I think if they keep him after this season and back him, because we're already getting linked with Garnacho getting sold, Rashford getting sold, Anthony being sold, Casemiro, Eriksen.
So there's signs of undoing what's there.
All the bad things that have happened. And this is because he's playing the style of play, and it's exposing the players that we got at this club. So because of that, we're actually getting linked with the players moving away from the club, which we actually really want. Because if you actually think about Ralph Rangnick's 6 months he had, in that summer transfer window, we'd have been happy if any player had left the club. But all of a sudden, one summer transfer window later, we was happy for all the players to stay.
So keep backing him, make sure they stand by him
100%.
and get him the players in. Lastly, are we turning a corner? Too early?
No, it's too early.
Too early?
Do you know what? He was right in what he said. You're going to see more than what you see in this game.
Yeah.
But because obviously the magnitude of going away to the Etihad, going away to Anfield,
it
going
writes
away
itself.
Yeah. Whereas you're not going to be as up for this at home against Southampton. But these are a poor side. And as much as they dominate the first 80 minutes, you can see in the last 10 minutes where they are for a reason. I think the big game is Brighton and Fulham, because really the two teams are very even.
Well, Brighton will come here to play as well. You know what I mean?
So really, it actually comes down to who's going to be up for it. So those two games are going to tell me a lot more. If we can win those two games, potentially we've turned a corner. But I've not got much hope. All I'm bothered about is seeing this style of play, getting through to the summer transfer window, selling a load of players. I'm not bothered how many players we bring in, as long as we get these players out and undo the mess that we've done for the past 12 years.